Madden holiday is here and we will play all night. Calling sick and sound sincere, in tackles will delight. The fridge is packed with drink and meat, the taste of victory sure is sweet.
So, a funny thing happened while I was watching the Bills-Chiefs game this past Sunday. There had been some freezing rain in the forecast, and my mother had texted me telling her to text her back so she could sand down the driveway and make it walkable for me when I got back. I was at my father's place watching the game at the time. So, the game's going on. I'm, waiting to send this text. The Bills are driving down the field. It looks like they're going to kick a game-tying field goal. So I began texting. I'm going to text the message, "I'll be heading home just as soon as the game ends." And just as I was typing, "I'll be heading," that was when the Bills missed the field goal that would have tied the game. So I had to basically amend the text mid-statement and just changed it to, "I'll be heading home now." So yeah, like I said, I had to amend my text mid-statement. And, in a way, that sort of feels like the news that's been happening today. I guess, like I said, one bit of news broke and then suddenly a whole bunch of news broke. So right as I was taking all the notes down, I kept having to amend things. I guess everyone was just waiting for the Harbaugh domino to drop, and, well, it obviously dropped. Jim Harbaugh is now going to be coaching the Los Angeles Chargers. And, a little bit before that, news broke that the Raiders were finally going to sign Antonio Pierce to be their head coach, and the Tennessee Titans had hired Brian Callahan, the Bengals offensive coordinator, to be their head coach. And then, after that, news broke that Bill Belichick was apparently not going to be in the running for the Atlanta Falcons head coaching job. And then, kind of suddenly, right after that news broke, the Falcons announced that they had hired Raheem Morris to be their head coach. So, it's nice to see Raheem Morris get another shot. He had a pretty decent run in Tampa. Not great. They had one season where they almost made the playoffs, and then they had a year where they had a lot of expectations. They did not live up to them, and he got fired. So, that's kind of what happened there. So, yeah, it looks like Bill Belichick will not, in all likelihood, be getting a head coaching job, as the Panthers hired Dave Canales, the Tampa Bay offensive coordinator, too. So, yeah, he's not going to be hired in Carolina. And right now, the only other openings are Seattle and Washington. So, it doesn't seem that that's going to happen anytime soon. At least, Washington was high on Belichick at one point, but apparently they're not high on him anymore. So, yep, that's obviously leaving a lot out of there. And all that's left now is just a persistent rumor that Mike Vrabel is going to be brought in by the Chiefs. Basically, if Andy Reid decides to hang it up, he's going to be the coach in waiting. Though I should point out that one about Vrabel is really just a substantial rumor at this point, and nothing has been confirmed on any of that. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Seattle ends up hiring Vrabel. It seems like they've really cooled on Dan Quinn, so maybe Vrabel would be a more logical choice. Then again, I thought Mike Munchak was going to get a job after the Titans fired him as their head coach, so who knows, really. Anyway, it's conference championship preview time, and we're not going to dedicate one video to just one game. So, in other words, we're going to be covering the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Detroit Lions in this video. So yeah, we're doing both conferences at once.
Introducing new improved Tidy Bowl. Now, we didn't dare change Tidy Bowl's extra strength formula with chlorine. It still helps clean and deodorize your bowl automatically every time you flush. It still leaves the water a clear, fresh blue, and it's still harmless to skin, pets, and septic tanks. Introducing Tidy Bowl's new plastic bottle. It was the only way to improve it. Oh, by the way, how do you like the new vote?
A dog can get mighty hungry when he doesn't get his chuck wagon. Because dogs love the soft, meat-like chunks, the brown, crunchy bits, the rich broth chuck wagon makes when you add warm water. Serve your dog chuck wagon. Chances are he's already waiting for it.
The race for the lead in the AFC East heats up when the Buffalo Bills battle the New York Jets on ABC's Monday Night Football.
It's the only way to kick off your week.
So yeah, our first game is the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Kansas City Chiefs, and I had a whole rant about the Buffalo Bills for this, but honestly, I'm kind of ranted out this week. So I'm just going to say I guess Kansas City proved the doubters wrong, me in particular, and the Ravens really need to take note. The Ravens defense is going to have to focus on Isaiah Pacheco, as he's likely to be the feature attacker for the Kansas City offense this week as he was last week. After all, running the ball really does help set up the pass in this aspect. Now, the Ravens have a really good run defense, so maybe that won't be too much of a problem. Offensively, the Ravens are going to have a good run-pass mix, unlike the Bills did last week. The Bills did throw the ball, but they tended to focus way too much on hitting the deep ball. Again, this maybe shouldn't be too much of a problem for the Ravens, though, as they don't really have a deep ball attack too much. I mean, to them, a 15-yard pass is a deep ball, instead of a 40-yard Josh Allen bomb, The Ravens defense is going to have to work extra hard to try to contain Patrick Mahomes, as if you've seen so many times in these playoffs, he's just really escapable, so maybe they might need to absorb a few roughing the passer penalties to rattle him or something. I mean, they've got to start forcing some 3-and-outs, though. I mean, the Bills really didn't in their game, and you saw how that turned out. I think the Ravens also have to hope they don't go to OT, because I think the Chiefs are going to win any type of game in that aspect. So yeah, I've got a real nagging doubts about this game. I hope the Ravens realize the opportunity they have and don't think they're just gifted a Super Bowl appearance here. I do think in the end the Ravens can hold on and win this, but like I said, it's not a sure bet by any stretch of the imagination.
Somebody have any change? Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
You've got a right to chicken done right. Original recipe, we do chicken right.
IBM presents You Make the Call. On third down and goal with 1 minute left, Don Mikowski of the Packers passes to Perry Kemp, who is hit at the 1-yard line and fumbles into the end zone, where another Packer recovers. Now you make the call. Is this a touchdown?
What would your ideal home computer be like? Easy to use, for sure. Yet it'd have the power to run business software without an overpowering price. It'd be simple to set up, with popular options already included. If somebody zeroed in on a unit that perfect for the family unit, it'd really be something. Something exactly like the PS1, a new kind of computer from IBM. With PS1, IBM brings it all home.
What call did you make? In the last 2 minutes of either half, a fumble into the end zone may be recovered only by the player who fumbled. Packers ball at the 1.
From Kenner's Star Wars collection, each sold separately. Large-size Darth Vader with his lightsaber. Princess Leia, champion of the rebel cause. With her defender, Luke Skywalker. You can swing him into action on his grappling hook. And load Chewbacca's laser crossbow. Star Wars large-size action figures. Up to 15 inches tall and ready for action. Large-size Darth Vader, Chewbacca, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, each sold separately from Kenner.
The second game is the San Francisco 49ers hosting the Detroit Lions. And obviously there's a lot of questions going on with this one. Was the 49ers' struggles against the Packers due to things like the rain, the talent level of the Packers themselves, the Packers' defense, just overall hubris, the fact that Deebo Samuel is injured? Can the Lions contain the 49ers and actually make history? Can Jared Goff silence the doubters? Is Deebo Samuel healthy and going to play? All of these questions are basically going to lead up to what can either be one of the greatest conference championships games of all time, or a total blowout. I do think a lot of the 49ers' problems last week was probably due to the weather. I mean, things like George Kittle dropping passes and stuff, yeah, you could pretty much chalk that up to playing in a driving rainstorm. That being said, the 49ers defense did give up their first 100-yard rusher in, 51 games or something like that to Aaron Jones. And I think the Lions have a better running attack overall. So if they wind up giving 100 yards again, they can ball control the clock, keep it out of San Francisco's hands. And, added to that, the Lions do have a very opportunistic defense. So I do think there's maybe a chance Detroit could pull off an upset here, but overall, in the end, I think, again, much like I said with the Green Bay Packers, I think the 49ers are just too talented, even without Deebo Samuel. They'll hold off the Lions for the victory there. So, yeah, I'm picking Detroit to win this one. And, yeah, I'm a little more confident in this than I was in the AFC one.
Macy's entire selection of Nikon cameras, accessories, and binoculars is sale priced now at 10 to 40% savings. Nikon's auto and manual FG20 comes with a complete kit, camera, lens, 80 to 200 Sekar zoom lens, and more. It's just $2.99 at Macy's. The whole family can use this compact automatic. It's just $1.59 at Macy's. Save 10 to 40%, but hurry. The big Nikon sale ends Sunday at Macy's.
It's the new Star Wars Land Speeder.
Wow, looks like it's floating. The Sand People are coming. It's up to Luke Skywalker and his land speeder to get us out.
Action figures each sold separately. The Land Speeder has a snap-open space hatch, and Star Wars action figures R2-D2 and C-3PO fit right in back.
Hurry, they're fancy. Activate spring glide wheels.
The Force goes with us.
Yeah.
Kenner's new Star Wars Land Speeder. Action figures each sold separately.
Monday on day one, reports of doctors out of control, patient neglect, sexual harassment, bad medicine. When this man went after those sworn to save lives, someone threatened to take his. Then, Monday Night Football, San Francisco versus Cleveland. Hard-hitting television, Monday night, football, and day one.
So, to recap, I'm picking the Ravens over the Chiefs and the 49ers over the Lions. Yeah, I know, it's pretty chalk, and I'm picking a Ravens-49ers Super Bowl, and, if it is that, I hope it's a more entertaining game than the regular season matchup was. Though you could also say the same about the Ravens and the Lions if that's the matchup, because I don't know how many of you remember that. I believe the Ravens were up 36-0 in that game at one point. The one against the Lions, not the 49ers. I mean, I think Detroit did score some garbage time touchdowns, but yeah, that game was well over by the end of the first half. Now, if it winds up being the Kansas City Chiefs against either of those two teams, that might be a bit more up in the air. Anyway, our next video is going to be the recap and review for the Royal Rumble, then the random trade review on Age of Bronze Volume 2, and then we'll have our Super Bowl preview video. Now, I guess after the season ends, I'll probably have a few more Madden videos up here and there, like maybe if there's some big free agency news or to cover the NFL draft. I mean, again, I hate to harken too much back to the broken leg, but I made up 18 thumbnail cards in advance for this season for all these pick'em games I was going to do, and obviously, I didn't really get to do many of those, so I've got a whole bunch of those left over, and I'd like to use at least most of them. So, yeah, that's kind of what might be happening in the future. The movie review catch-up stuff, that's probably going to begin in late February or early March. No, I'm not going to be able to see Madam Web. Again, if you've heard my talk about the broken leg, I can navigate a flight of stairs, but I don't want to do it a whole bunch of times, and I need to kind of familiarize myself with them. And the theater here in town, there's a big staircase into the lobby from the ticket booth, so I would need some practice walking up and down that before I did anything else. So yeah, it's going to be a while before I can review anything theatrically. Sorry to end on kind of a down note there, but hopefully I can see you all next time. We can have some fun. Hey guys, remember that you can support my work at patreon.com/sleepytimeforcat productions. Also, remember to like, comment, share, subscribe to my channel, and ring that notification bell so that way you can be alerted to further videos.